Walker. It's Amir Williams. It's game 3 of the NBLC Championship, and it begins right now.
Third straight tip-off, won by Amir Williams over Tyran Walker. Does that hold serve for the final buzzer?
We'll find out. 48 minutes of action here to determine if the championship is handed out this evening. And Williams is going to pull the block and the reverse layup to get the scoring started.
Tyran Walker was all over Amir Williams like a cheap suit. It didn't matter. The former Ohio State Buckeye says, "Get off me, good sir," and goes for two.
Landed. Gonna give it to Walker straight away. Tate's gonna set the screen to the league's MVP, Kindred. Kindred with the step back. Over Thomas, in and out of the toilet bowl. Williams with the rebound.
Hey, let's face it, the Titans are gonna live and die through their MVP, the St. Augustine product of Joel Kindred.
Well, in game 2, he had 38 points, 10 of 12 from the free throw line as well, and that's a deep three. That gets it to go. That's a 5-0 lead for the visitors.
That's something Amir didn't have in his repertoire when he came to London, but over the course of the regular season, I think large in part to the Texas native Mark Murray Isom, his three ball is there, his free throw has been improved.
Tate looking for the screen from Walker, instead gives it to Walker. Walker pulls up straight away, and he's trying to find a backdoor cut. Kindred all high off glass, and that shot is altered by the former Buckeye, and the Lightning streaking here early on. Canadian of the Year kicks it out to Haley around the world. Jones is going to get almost stripped. It's going to be out of bounds, says Rob Caparici. The Lightning will retain the ball with 15 on the shot clock.
Lightning fans are shaking their heads at the former Austin Spurs product of the J-League. Burns has been caught, or should I say burned, by that pass several times in this series, and I'm kind of shocked that he's continuing here in Game 3 after having turnovers in Games 1 and 2 as a result of that play.
Well, he's going to have to watch Jesse Jones, one of the fastest players in the league. Backdoor cut, a nice scoop pass, and a slam by the former Buckeye, and they're out to a 7-0 lead here early at the off.
It's that physical dominance that Amir Williams brings. Oh yeah, Doug Monk still has Cameron Forte, their leading point getter and rebound getter in the regular season, fresh and ready on the bench.
Walker kicks it, pocket corner. Tate with the response, too strong, off the hands of, they're going to say Kindred last. Caparici with the call, and Burns will get it on the inbound.
And let's face it, for a guy like Tyrell Tate, he's been around the league, played for the Sudbury 5, he has to be feeling extra exuberant to be finding himself in an NBLC final.
The Lightning outscoring the Titans 12-7 in that overtime period in that Sunday win. What do they have in store here? They've got 7 to start. Thomas tried to make it 10, too strong there.
And he was the player of the game for London in Game 2. Mark my words, the double-double performance, 51 minutes of court time for the East West Nova Scotia Navy.
Burns with the steal. Burns in transition, whip pass to top side, too strong for Haley, but they're going to say it's off Jones' glass.
Hey, but it's that bounce pass that opens up the facilitator to do the offense.
Second half of the first game of this series, London outscored the Titans 63-35 in the second half, and in Game 2, the Titans didn't do themselves any favors on the road with 20 turnovers, leading to 24 points off turnovers. For the Lightning, speaking of turnovers, there's one for the away side.
Yeah, and speaking of that game, you limit your opponent to 35 points in the second half, 15 in the fourth quarter, and for KW, they just straight up went ice cold, shot below 20% when it mattered most.
Landon with the jab on the left wing. He's going to pull up there, and again, strong shot.
They need a bucket here at home, Greg, to get this crowd behind them.
And it's a slow start right now for Neil Foreman and company, staring down a 7-0 deficit early on. Thomas, Canadian Player of the Year, step back, bang.
And the sixth man of the year, Greg, he had multiple pieces of hardware put into his lap by the commissioner, Audley Stevenson.
One of the reasons there, prolific scorer and defender of the former U of Ottawa GG product. Last time these two teams met at the Odd, it was the Lightning clinching in the big block by Williams. Says, get that out of here. Transition, Haley, Thomas, the jab. Thomas into late. Thomas with contact. The block, says Rob Caparici. Kindred bewildered at the call.
Well, Kindred hadn't set his feet, and something I've learned in this league, it doesn't matter when or how the call happens, there's always somebody in disagreement with the officials. It's not an easy job.
So far, the Lightning shooting 80% from the field, 4 of 5, and the Titans, 0 of 5 at this point.
And it's just a bucket to get that crowd roaring here at home. And let's face it, the London Lightning beat the KW Titans over the course of 6 games in the regular season on 5 occasions. The only win by the Titans over the Lightning came in this building, though, Greg. That was a 103-102 thriller where Amir Williams missed some key shots in this stretch.
Well, the last time these two teams played a 106-104 victory is Jermaine Haley with the go-ahead 3. That sealed the #1 seed and home court advantage throughout the playoffs for the Lightning. Can the Titans get something going? Nearly 3.5 minutes gone here in the pivotal Game 3, trying to force the Game 4 Friday night. Tate, high off glass, and Tate finally hits the crowd.
It's big in so many ways, mainly because of the audio you hear behind me. The crowd's finally in it.
Tate 18 in Game 1, 17 in Game 2. Straightaway 3 missed by Burns, and here come the Titans the other way. And Tate, with the white headband, is going to cross over left to right into the lane. Euro step high off glass, and one. Run coming at the line, and Tyrell Tate single-handedly getting these Titans back into this contest.
Well, they say the offense will sell you tickets, but it's defense that wins the championships. You have the defensive player of the year out on the court right now in Tyran Walker. He actually won this award after a London Lightning product. Marcus Capers won it last. In fact, Kevin Young of the 2015 Halifax Raymond from Puerto Rico is the only non-American to win this award. Tyran Walker, American, means that no Canadian has ever picked up the Defensive Player of the Year just yet.
Well, there may be next year as well, but we're trying to force Game 4. If you're a Titans fan, the Lightning, they just want to seal the deal and party here in KW or in London, pending the next 48 minutes of action on the court.
Why not both?
Why not both? Williams squares up Walker. Williams squares up the league's leader in blocks, and that shot gets altered by Walker in a time clock violation. And round 2 goes to Ty Walker.
I'm with Amir Williams, though. He was protecting the ball down low. When he came up with it, like I said, Walker cannot be doing that. A little too physical, not enough ball.
Walker sitting on 1 block shy of the Century Club, the only player in the league to do it if he does get it this evening. Hesitation lost to losing the ball was Miller, and Williams with the outlet to Burns. Burns with the slow crossover. Burns no look to Thomas. Back out to Jones. Jones thought about the 3, goes into lane, kicks it back out. Thomas long 3 off the right side. Williams second chance. Sweep underneath, sizes up Walker. That gets altered, and Walker gets the best of him 2 times in a row now.
That battle is going to be a big one to keep an eye on. Here's Jesse Jones.
And before he even gets going, Rob Caparici with the call on the floor in transition. That'll be against Jermaine Haley, who had the game winner last time. These 2 teams played here at the odd. So Marie Isom checking into the game. Amir Williams checking out. An entertaining contest so far.
Wouldn't have it any other way here on NBLC.TV.
Jones gets the inbound.
His speed is a problem for London's defense.
His speed is second to none in this league, I can tell you that. Shaquan Barrett does baseline right ball, just Miller with the turnover, and Thomas almost loses the handle.
Yeah, that's the local product, Juwan Miller, and you got to feel great for him. You're playing at the odd in your own town in a national championship game.
Jones tried to scoop it over to Haley, and something hits Burns. Burns creates contact. Burns gets a bucket to go.
Sometimes you need love off the cylinder. You got it there.
6 minutes gone here in the first quarter, and going the other way. Now Landon
Walker wanted Landon to throw that up, and Landon said, I'll just cruise to the basket myself, big fella.
Well, last couple times, especially in the semifinals, a couple almost highlight reel jumps from Ty Walker. Either went in and out of the toilet bowl or just missed. Burns long 3. Long rebound by Tatum. Loses the handle, and Jones hits it to knock glass. Unnecessary turnover, 6-point lead.
39 points poured in game 1, and I said after that night's performance, man, oh man, it's like he wants to become finals MVP or something. Continuing here at the office.
Tate choreographed the pass, and ends up there with right hand. It's going to be a rebound by the Lightning, and for Doug Plum and company, what better start can you ask for in the pivotal Game 3?
Well, Marik Isom comes into the game as Chris Jones could not hit this 3-ball. And it looks like joining the Cavs will be guys like Lance Adams from the Basketball League, as well as Jordan Jensen-White, who's played for Team Canada on the 3-on-3 variety.
With 2 rebounds as well.
Now, Doug Plum can couple that with the big fella, the Portland State product, Cameron Forte off of his bench. The KW Titans are in for a long, long night.
Tate with the hesitation with the spin to the right hand. Looks for Walker inside, picks up the dribble, has to put it out near the timeline to Landon.
5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Hesitation, Landon off glass, too strong. Walker fighting for the rebound. And they're going to say it's a foul on Isom. So an interesting call on the floor made in this situation by Victor Young, saying Marik Isom was interfering with Ty Walker.
I would love to see Marik Isom's personal foul record from the regular season to the postseason, because he's like Two-Face, that Batman character. It was all good at the beginning, and here in the postseason, the refs are at him at like a pariah.
And another foul called there.
That was a good one.
By lead official Dave Maxson. And
By the way, Marique Isom, I know it's the wrong end of the court to talk about this, but he did set a franchise and league record with most consecutive free throws. He finished out the year 2022, 53 of 55. Nobody else in the league was that Picante from the charity stripe.
the Titans as a whole shooting 72% from the charity stripe. Landon's going to be strong. Getting to him not. On the season, a 65% free throw shooter.
And as a team, Greg, the Titans overall from the charity stripe are averaging 72.2%. You would say that's low. It's technically the best in the league.
Funny how it works out sometimes when you have stats for 4 teams right now, hopefully adding to more next season here in the NBLC. Game 3 right now on the court as I digress, 5-point lead for the Lightning, and Thomas high off glass. Thomas, the Canadian Player of the Year with the in-hand run.
He's the sixth man of the year, the Canadian Player of the Year, the East Preston, Nova Scotia native, surpassed 3,000 points in the regular season in the NBLC. If you exclude Garrett Williamson, who was born in Pennsylvania and had Canadian citizenship, Thomas is the first born Canadian to hit the 3,000-point plateau in this league.
Go to the charity stripe to make it a 3-point play. Doesn't get it. No block with the rebound.
Hey, London as a team from the free throw line, not so good. 68.4%. That's dead last.
Jones high off glass. Jones.
We're gonna find out where Jones is open this league.
That guy, honestly, 0 to 100. I have not seen a quicker guy in this league so far this season. Thomas left wing 3. Bang!
Thomas, we
Terry.
called him Scary Terry at the beginning of the year before he started saying, hey, stop calling me that. Well, he's putting some fear into the Titans fans here at the auditorium.
He, along with Williams, lead all scorers with 7 apiece. Landon with the response, too strong off the 1 foot on the right foot in particular. 8-point lead remains for the visitors with just over 4 minutes to go here in the first.
London's 8-point lead with 2 bigs on the bench.
Jones underneath. Thomas with the reverse, and Thomas on a 5-0 run of his own.
Listen, I'm not trying to call out Tyrant Walker, but he's lost. He's in the middle of the court on all ends.
Tate try and slow down the bleeding as the Lightning now doubling up the home side right now, 20 to 10. Walker loses the handle transition the other way. Jensen White outlet. Stutter step. Jones into lane. Jones contact front end of the rim. Rebound, and Jones ends up with it. They're going to kick it around the pond. Thomas again. Bang! Terry Thomas, what can you do this evening? And a timeout called by Neil Foreman and company.
So it is a bit of a steep hill to climb for the newcomer.
Well, it may run approximately right now. We've played almost 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They've got 3 quarters to go at this point. So Landon's going to get the high screen for Jabari Craig. That's checked into the game for Neil Foreman and company. Tate goes baseline. Tate creates contact, and Tate will go to the line. The one bright spot so far for the Titans, he leads all Titan scores with 5, and he'll go to the charity stripe for a second and third trip, respectively.
This is also the 6th appearance in a final for London. No, it's not the record, or I should say it is the record now, because Halifax had the previous record of 5 when they were the Rainmen and then the Hurricanes. Here's the funny thing. When they were known as the Rainmen, they lost both of their appearances in the finals, the 2012 to London, 2015 to Windsor. Then they changed their name to the Hurricanes, Greg, in 2016. Oh, they win the whole thing.
And you know what? A bit of a storm here, hitting the odd here as well, as again, without the services of Eric Ferguson and Chad Frazier, is Neil Foreman and company. And I mean,
and we haven't seen really any of Ron Artest III, and Shaquan Barron rolled his ankle in pre-game warm-up during game 1.
And Ferguson and Frazier accounting for nearly 35 points per game for the home side. And it's a difference they haven't been able to make up so far. Thomas went for the long one there. Now
that's a heat check, Greggy. That's a heat check.
So he's 2 of 5 from the land beyond. Tate the other way. Tate bullies his way into lane with the right hand.
Look at this defense by Jensen White, not allowing Tate any real estate.
Jensen White the other way to Jones. Jones looking for White. The first straight off Isom, kicks it out. Isom straight away from downtown, and the lead extends to 14.
Call that poetry in motion. When you watch Marique Isom shoot a basketball, that's exactly what it is. And when it doesn't look like poetry in motion, it's never a good result.
Jones with the response after the crossover, can't get it to go. He's gone for the contact on the
Doug Plum wants his team to start pushing the ball up the court and run the Titans right out of here.
Jones defers the screen. Jones in lane, high off glass, contact from Craig, and the Titans get a break. League's MVP behind the back, a little acrobatic. Kicks it, pocket, left corner, Tate, strong. Craig gets a rebound. No, he won't. Strong rebound by Ison there, and a push off from Doug Plum to get him back onto the court. Jones, it's the league's MVP, thought about the bounce pass, on his streaky cut there, didn't get it. Gets the switch off, now they switch back. Ison, Thomas strong with the left hand, switches over to the right and front roll into the toilet.
The dribble drive penetration has been there from the opening tip-off till here with $1:40 left in the first quarter. Neil Foreman, Cliff Clinkscales, and the rest of his coaches are going to have to start making adjustments and do it now.
Jones, long three, and that's going to be a high rebound, and two Lightning players fighting for it. It's up in the hands of Jones.
Way too early to start living and dying by the free, partner.
It's over to the left wing. Adams kicks it back to Jones, gets a high screen from Ison. Pick and pop. Ison makes him pay, in and out. Greg, rebound.
You see what I'm saying about the poetry in motion? Didn't look as nice that time out of his hand.
Kindred 0 of 3 from the field. Can he go 1 of 4? No, it's going to be 0 of 4, and the cold streak continues for Joel Kindred, who had 22 in game 1 and 25 in game 2. Pocket left corner 3. Got it. Adams gets it to go. And the Lightning can do no wrong here in the first quarter. The lead, the largest of the game, and they've already cracked the 30-point barrier.
Lance, who came over from the Lansing Pharaohs of the Basketball League. Oh me! Oh my! Jabari Craig gets it on the action break.
And now get the crowd back into the stadium.
Going back to Adams, he's playing for the Basketball League. He's playing against the London Lightning in a Lansing Pharaohs uniform. Lights it up with 30-plus points in a losing effort. Doug Plum goes, you know what? I want to sign you.
Back to the court, and a strong three missed there by Ison after the slick crossover from Jones to the kickout. Should be the final possession of this first quarter, and Neil Foreman and company are going to have to make some massive adjustments between the quarters to get this crowd back into this game. Believe in themselves, of course, in game 4 here at the Odd. Jones with the hesitation. Jones with the right hand, and Jones down the toilet bowl. The other Jones feeds it, and they're going to call it an end to the first quarter.
$1 million move. 10-10 finish. That's where we stand after 12 minutes of play. London is a team doubles up the Titans in their barn. And man, never won a championship. And by the way, with KW making the finals this year, they're the lone team, or the Sudbury Five, the only active team in this league to not make a final.
Thomas matching the Titans for total scoring. He's got 14 points to begin the second quarter. Jones baseline. Jones kicks it out. Pocket left corner Miller, and that's too strong. The full streak continues for the 3-ball for the home side. They're 0-6 from Plan Beyond, and going the other way are the Lightning.
So we were talking about adjustments. It seems like the adjustment is the Victoria native Matt Newfield on the court.
And Williams abuses him right away in the paint there with the strong left-handed finish after creating his own contact.
This game, if it's going to have a chance for the Titans, is going through Joel Kindred. They got to get him the ball back right now.
Jones is going to have it instead. Jones on the left wing, and that's going to be in and out of the toilet bowl. And Williams, the former Buckeye, with the rebound in an outlet, and ends up in the hands across the pond to Haley. Slick pass inside. Williams into lane against the undersized Miller. Too easy, and the lead up to 20.
And Forte almost acted like a bulldozer there. Gave him the separation and the key needed for the easy bucket.
Williams with 9. Thomas with 14. Tate the lead scorer for the home side, though he's 2 of 5 from the field.
Well, Kindred's 0 for 4 from the field and 0 for 1 from downtown. That pretty much summarizes the KW offense.
Tate walking down Jensen White. Jensen.
There you go. Over 12 minutes later, he had 7 points, so he's leading all the Titans in the offense so far.
50% from the field. He's 1 point shy of double figures. And the Titans staring down the game. 19-point goal. Williams thought about the 3. Gets it over Jensen White. Also on the Forte. Now to. Looks like they were trying to find Forte inside. Was Adams.
Kick ball, it's called here.
A pair of substitutions coming up for Doug Plum. Terry Thomas back in, as well as Chris Jones. Williams out, as well as Jensen White.
You got a guy that just rested who had 39 points in game 1 in Chris Jones, and you have another guy who has, I don't know, a double-double in every single playoff game so far, and he scored in 51 minutes in that 115-110 overtime thriller.
Thomas, the leading scorer right now at 28 in game 2 and 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. Back at the court, Thomas sweeps left to right. Thomas with the high right hand, doesn't get to go, secures his own rebound. down.
Newfield's got to box him out there, and it's Titans' ball.
Jones thought about the screen, gets it for a matchup against Tate Forks, slips into the lane. Tate strong there, out of bounds.
A little too hot to handle for Chris Jones, and he knows it as he's walking back up the court. Listen, if you're a Titans fan, I'll use the Drake line. It's over. It's over. It's far from over. The worst quarter of the season for the London Lightning by far was the third quarter. Titans took advantage of that in game one. They took advantage of that in game two. See if they can do it here at home.
Good news for them. They still have just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half to try and close the deficit. Landon gets Thomas dancing. He's going to kick it back out to Tate. Tate and Haley. Gets a switch off. Neufeld in the paint. Hesitation. Into the lane. Kicks it into Neufeld. Ball fumbled around.
And in case fans didn't get my pro-London rant with Terry Thomas and Chris Jones coming back onto the court, those two are pretty much my locks. One of them's going to be the MVP of the final. Yeah, I already said it here with 9:35 left in the second quarter of games.
For all Titans fans, we're hoping it doesn't happen until a couple days from now, as Game 4 would be in the building on Friday, and then when would Game 5 be?
Potentially Game 5 is back at Budweiser Gardens Monday night.
There you go. So they're waiting until the weekend's over to celebrate a pair of victories here at the Ottawa.
A little bit of a history tip for you, Greg. The first ever championship was between the Halifax Raymond and these London Lightning. It was a best-of-5 series, and it went to Game 5 of a best-of-5.
Foul floor there.
Another interesting note, at least between these two teams, playoff-wise, the last time these two teams saw each other was back in the 2019 season, before that thing called COVID ruined the entire sports world. Well, they played a best-of-5 opening round series, did the Titans and the Lightning. The away team won every game of that series, and the Titans took it in 5. Now, the Titans are hoping for the flip side of the equation until they get to Game 5, where they want to put it back on its head.
There you go. So, Knowledge 101 with Johnny Urban here. On your Wednesday evening, it's Game 3 of the NBLC Championship. Greg Campbell will bring you through the play-by-play. Titans trying to force Game 4, as mentioned here on Friday evening. And, well, the Lightning want their chip and dip to go within in a couple of minutes here.
I literally was saying that this morning to myself. I want them chips with them dips.
We'll find out if that holds to be true. Jones tried to not make it happen.
He likes the dips. He likes the dips.
Sweet finish on that one.
But again, the ebbs and flows of this game is being controlled by London. Haley travel.
So Haley catches the ball and slides his feet in that situation. It's going to be called for the ball by Victor Young in a timeout signaled by Rob. So far, league MVP and most player Joel Kindred was 0 of 4 with two fouls and 1.
Well, to that point, they didn't use a lot of size on the court, did the London Lightning? Almost bewildered Neil Foreman with speed versus speed as the speed demon Jesse Jones burns it for 2.
He should go after that main basket.
Oh, wait, you don't want to see that.
And if he's down, then, I don't know if he's going to be in this contest. Closes Haley with an elbow to the face.
Charge.
And one says the backside official in this situation, so they are going to call a charge when it's done. Caparici at the end, one in that situation. Victor Young called a charge, and in agreement with him in this case was the lead official.
You know what? I like when officials do that, at least when they come together and get the right call done. Is it too early to talk about finals MVPs, Greg? I want to talk about finals MVPs for a second. Trey Kell, the guard for the Moncton Magic, he's the last one to pick up MVP.
As the Lightning come in transition the other way, chose the hesitation off glass. Haley with the attempt for the tip, and Tate with the rebound. Jones the other way. Jesse Jones, stutter step with the left hand. He's going to draw a foul in that situation. Back to the MVP conversation.
So we would assume if the KW Titans come back in this series, well, Joel Kindred's obviously going to have to put his name in that equation. Right now, though, I would say on the Titan side, Jesse Jones messes around and almost gets a triple-double every almost game for these guys. So, I mean, if Titans come back, I'd say he's in that category. Now, obviously, Titans haven't won a championship, so they have no finals MVPs. London has 4. Gabe Freeman, 2012. Marvin Phillips, 2013.
Tate with the free throw line extended jumper gets it. And the lead suddenly down to 11.
Ryan Anderson, 2017. And then Gare Williamson, 2018. The only Canadian citizen to win the award. No Canadian players ever, or foreign players ever won the finals MVP. All U.S.-born players in league history.
Burns kicks it to the pocket. Left corner. Jensen White kicks it across the pond. Bang!
Exact Canadian right there could be the first Canadian-born player from Northeast Preston Nova Scotia put his name on the finals MVP trophy.
And the lead back to 15 off the deep three. Jones fade away and out of the toilet bowl. High point of rebound.
Oh, no.
And he comes up stumbling as well was Jordan Jensen White.
Struggled with the injuries in his history.
Thomas adjusts, reverse layup. Terry Thomas is a one-man wrecking crew. He has now got 19 points and 8 of 12 from the field.
Jordan Jensen White's hurt right now. He's toughing it out on the court. Just showing that toughness that any Canadian would, but the Calgary, Alberta native should be subbed out of this game.
Tate invites Miller streaking into lane off the cut from the right wing. Shoots to go off.
Just don't know why you don't call a timeout and get him out there.
Long three of Burns, and that won't burn him in the short run here, but in the long run, you got to be careful of what kind of shots you're taking here. Jones the other way, and that doesn't get the friendly roll, and I guess no harm, no foul with Isom with the rebound and outlet to Jones.
Yeah, tip for tat, long three for long three, and they both go empty.
Terry Thomas once again, he's going to size up Neufeld, he gets it to go again! Terry Thomas, have you an evening, already past the 20-point mark and a 17-point lead for the visitors.
Terry Thomas, the sixth man and the Canadian Player of the Year.
As Landon's going to cross over Jensen White, step back three, trying to put him on the highlight reel. Miller trying to high point that rebound, but Thomas says no. He's 9 of 13 from the field, 21 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists from Lambion. And that scoop layup made by Chris Jones. Not going to get, no, he's got to hustle back on defense and lead back up to 19. Titans the other way, and Tyrell Tate is going to stop bleeding with an
Oh,
8-1.
come on. Chris Jones put on his hard hat, took an elbow to the face, got the bucket, no call. We go back the other way, and we get a little ticky-tack call to get the Titans back to the free throw line.
I sense a little London bias in this broadcast right now.
Yeah, well, when you have a 17-point lead, it might seem biased. It also might just seem like the truth.
So Tate will head to the line, the team's leading scorer. He's 5 of 8 from the field now. He's got 13 points. Jesse Jones second on the team with 7 points.
And by the way, Terry Thomas, just the second Canadian ever to win the Sixth Man of the Year. Jamal Reynolds of the 2019 Cape Breton Highlanders was the first Canuck. J.R. Holder was the last one to win the award for the Sudbury Five. And Terry becomes the third London Lightning player, joining Eddie Smith in 2012 and Rodney Burford, former NBA player in 2013, as other Lightning procs to win the Sixth Man of the Year. Titans will have to look forward to next year.
Just 5.5 to go here in the first half. Isom got Walker moving. Isom, get that out here. Says time over. Block party. Wins the evening, and that's good for the century mark for blocks on the season. Landon looking for the foul on the baseline. He's not going to get it. Good defense by the Lightning there in the turnover.
The COVID-stricken season for the Windsor Express, Sam Muldrow got the leading block getter in all of the NBLC. But to be honest with you, that was over the course of 4 or 5 seasons, Greg. Tyron Walker's gotten 100 in 1 year. He's on the course for 2 more seasons. He'll be the all-time leading block getter in the league as a whole.
And the league's current defensive player of the year as well. Right wing long three, that's too strong. Walker, high points, rebound. And a welcome break for the Titans who are trying to get back into this game.
5 minutes left before the recess break.
They did have it down to 11, and it's back up to 16 for the visitors. Doug Plumbing Company trying to seal a championship here on your Wednesday evening on NBLC TV. Johnny Urban alongside Greg Campbell bringing you through tonight's action. After the missed shot, Isom with the rebound, outlet to Thomas. Thomas, one-on-one. Thomas with the dance. Thomas off glass, and Matt Jones to his highlight reel this evening.
Before this season began, Doug Plum and I talked, and he said no team in this league is going to outwork us. This is a guy that's 12 days away from a marathon, Greg. 3 games at Budweiser Gardens. He's running the stands doing 8 miles. If that doesn't intimidate opponents, I don't know what will. Miller!
That makes me want to run again. So, you know, a little motivation there to say the least.
Yesterday was a record heat across all of Ontario, specifically in Southern. This guy's out running 12 miles like a maniac.
Thomas running the floor all over the Titans. Too strong. Tate with the rebound. That would have silenced the crowd there as the lead remains at 16. Thomas has 23. He's got more than Tate and Jones combined. The foul on the floor says Victor Young in that situation. A block on the Lightning, and that will be the team's 5th.
Jordan Jensen White originally had his hand in the cookie jar partner, so I would allow the call then. But then the play continued, so I don't really know where the late whistle comes from.
Well, it's not like soccer with the advantage. But you might have seen this.
Can we go to VAR?
Where's the fourth official right now?
Well, Adams is coming off, and again, just a great job that Doug Plunk's done all 2022, utilizing a full deck of 12 players, something that Neil Foreman doesn't have the availability of doing in this spot.
Without Chad Frazier and Eric Ferguson, a little talking between White and Tate, and he's going to win that battle as he pulls on that left quad there as well, hustling up the floor.
Ferguson and Frazier are your studs, but also a bench in Artest and Bear would be due.
White on the left wing, too strong, rebound by Landon.
Woodbridge, Ontario native. He's been a low-key factor over these last couple games in the finals.
Landon with the step back, kicks it out to Miller. Miller's got to get it going for some sort of response. He's going to cross over White, right to left. Jones from downtown gets it to go. Smart one at that to stop the transition in that situation.
That's an open look for Marie Dyson. I don't mind that shot. I'm keeping attention to Jordan Jensen White, who have
6 points. Just 16 alongside. Got 3 minutes on the ground. He goes into single digits. Tate off the timeout. Jones thought about it. Ty Walker wide open underneath him. Walker with the slam and the jam.
Incredible to think the Titans would win this right now, 23-17, despite the fact that the scoreboard really wasn't showing.
Slowly chipping away at it is the name of the game for Neil Foreman and company again, being outscored 31-14 in that first quarter doesn't help. Jones pulls up, good defense by Landon, too strong, and the other Jones comes flying out there to get that rebound. Jones, motto, pocket right corner, Landon, got it! Down to single digits, from the field before that shot, 0 for 1 from downtown. Not a bad time to make your first and bring the lead within 8. Tate putting his arms up for the noise asses. Eric Ferguson in the light back into the building. And Thomas one of the ones that took it out of the building to begin this contest. Backs down Miller. Fade away! Oh, come on now. You know what? This was NBA 2K. Shooting percentage-wise, it'd be 90 plus in every category. He's up to 25 points.
Well, I noticed Chad Frazier was wearing a Kobe jersey, despite the fact that he's not playing in this game. Very un-Kobe-like, if you ask me. Anybody that should have been wearing the grade 8 should have been that man right now, Terry Thomas. Walker tried to get the steal in that situation. Miller tried to force the pass inside. Off the Lightning last, working back into the game. Interesting, Neil Foreman apparently is playing matchups with Cameron Forte, because every time he's gone on the court, so is Victoria BC native and Matt Newfield. Well, they've got 3 seconds on the inbound to try and get a shot off in closest, down to single digits once again. 3 seconds. Jones on the inbound, landed, gets his man moving up in the air and thought about it and stepping out of bounds. Good defense by Jermaine Haley and lack of awareness by Darnell Landon. Can't get that to happen with 90 seconds to go in the first half. And it's always so tough, though, in front of your opposition's bench. They're not going to help you out and tell you you're going to step out of bounds. Chris Jones off the screen from Thomas, got the switch. London's offense has kind of gotten flat the last couple minutes, Greg. Forte's going to try to build a wall here, and he's going to size up Newfeld, and a strong left hand rattles around the rim and into the toilet bowl. If we're playing the Sega Genesis NBA Jam, you go to Cameron Forte, hook left hand, hook left hand, hook left hand. It's a cheat, man, and he keeps using it, and he keeps getting points as a result. 14 on the shot clock, 12-point deficit for the home side. Landon that picks up the dribble. Newfeld, the left wing, tries to find Miller back door. He's going to have to pull up for a jumper. Strong with the left hand. No confidence. Short there in that situation. Rebound Burns. Over to Haley. Haley left wing 3. Too strong. And Tate with the rebound. And they can go 2 for 1 if they push the pace. I don't think they're going to in this situation, though. Hesitation into the lane. And Burns is going to try and go for the strip. And one. The hottest and one you'll ever see as he was grabbing the ball. And somehow a miraculous miracle heads off the glass. It's big.
into the toilet bowl. We got a 3-point play coming up.
And you got Coach Campbell as Tate's carrying the ball through midcourt saying, hey, you got the opportunity for the 2-for-1 if you want it. It's almost like he overheard you, Greg, because all of a sudden he went from second to fourth gear, went after the rack and attacks it for 2. Oh yeah, +1 from the line.
Team's leading scorer, he's got 16 now, 6 of 11 from the field. Perfect from the charity stripe for 4, 5 rebounds, 2 assists to his name.
I mean, London was dominating 37-21. They have to feel like they've allowed the Titans back into this championship dance.
Jones, Landon, crossover left to right in between the legs, and the team's second foul. So that will get a inbound right by the scorer's table, just above the 3-point line. Thomas will inbound. Terry Thomas, story of the first half, 11 of 16 for 25 points. Forte on the inbound. Jones, Tate, defense chance picking up. Jones hesitation. Thomas, pocket left corner, nothing but into the hands of Chris Jones. Jones the other way. My apologies, wrong Jones. 2 Jones on the court, and last shot goes to the Titans. Miller looking for someone into the hands of Tate, the team's leading scorer. Jesse Jones. Jones with the hesitation. Jones for the lane beyond, and that is too strong. Rebound by Chris Jones, and that's the end of a hectic first half. The London Lightning, despite leading 31-14 after that first quarter, clinging on to a 9-point lead at the half. John, the best coming threes though. Back on the court, third quarter action, mind you. The teams have switched and are attacking. Thomas with a strong first half, 11 of 17 from the field for 25 points to lead all scores. This is his first shot of the second half.
Saw Terry talking with some family at halftime.
Jones lob to Walker, in the league blocker for the Lightning. Amir Williams, 4th most in Buckeyes history, denies that pass in. Chris Jones the other way. He was looking for Williams, so a little pick and roll for both teams with the bigs, and Williams again screens for Burns. The slick crossover. Burns circles around, whip pass inside. Williams, Walker, Williams off glass. The former Buckeye keeps the bank open here in your third quarter.
Yeah, Amir Williams also set a franchise record this year with 8 blocks in a single game, beating out Elvin Mims, who previously held London's record with 7. I'm sure 8 is pretty much something to scoff at if you're this man, Tyran Walker.
Walker not known for his free throw, or my apologies, long-range jump shot, doesn't get it.
Well, any form of shot partner, he doesn't seem to have it right now.
Right now, the Titans trying to claw back into this game. Begin the third quarter down 9, and too strong off glass there by Jones.
Don't agree with that shot selection by the Louisville product, who, by the way, joined Nick Pitino's squad 1 year after they won the national championship.
Landon gets stripped by Jones. Jones coast to coast. He's going to get fouled in transition there.
That should be an open path foul.
Landon beside him in that situation. Partner as a former referee, I will argue, and I will say that is the right call. A strong one, the first one for the home side.
Okay, so we'll go with that. It was a strong foul, but not a clear path foul.
Kindred grabbing that right quad. He's had a tough evening. 0 of 4 from the field, 2 rebounds and 2 fouls. The league's MVP sputtering from the first half, to say the least. And Jones gets the 3 to go to match his number on the back of the logo, and they extend their lead.
It's easy as broadcasters to look at the stats and point out guys that are 0-4 and point out guys that are perfect and say, oh, you're good and you're bad. But then when you incorporate the fact that we are at the tail end of this year, injuries have to be mounting up on some of these players. Jordan Jensen-White's clearly playing hurt. I've heard Amir Williams is playing hurt on the London side. You were just mentioning Joel Kindred kind of leaning on that one hip. I mean, everybody's bruised and battered at this point. Everybody's putting their bodies on the line for that championship glory.
Well, and you wonder for Neil Foreman and company, a couple of what-ifs, and Chad Frazier and Eric Ferguson were in this contest. They combined 35 points per game. Ferguson, a matchup nightmare for most of the league. Kindred, after the almost turnover. Jones fade away off the right foot. Jones gets it.
And you've noticed from Kindred, he started off this game, partner, 0 of 4 from the field, and he's decided to be more of a passer here in the second half.
Facilitate by any means to get a game 4 here at the odd. Haley on the slick little bounce pass inside, and Walker alters that one. Victor Young says off the Lightning last, out of bound, Titans possession. Juwan Miller back into the game.
Jermaine Haley has to cap off that play from Burns after he thread the eye of the needle between the two Titans defenders.
He's got his hands on his hips, shaking his head, and well, I'd be disgusted too if you knew that one should have gone through the hoop. Thomas is going to pick up Miller forward and force him to that non-dominant left hand. Here comes the double. Jones fumbled around. Matchup with Haley. Long extension with the right hand. May I have this dance? Kicks it out to Tate. Screen from Walker. Hedges. Goes inside. Tate fadeaway off the right wing. Got it.
17 points led all the Titans in the first half. He's got to continue that trend in the second to give his team a chance.
7-12 from the field now. Long three. Jones silences the faithful and gets the cheers going for the Lightning.
That's what we call a little anything you can do, I can do better.
+1 in that situation for the point differential. Tate walks down Haley, gets it back to Miller. Miller defers the screen from Walker, whipped it, and Haley with the outstretched arms. Good defense by him.
Telegraphed the pass enough that Jermaine Haley was almost able to pick it off. Looks like Amir Williams is coming over to the scorer's table to have a bit of a chat with Doug Plump.
Jordan Jensen-White into game, 0 points, but very effective. 6 rebounds, 4 assists on his box score.
Can I just say I'm loving the live DJ here at the auditorium?
It's a staple here, partner. It's what gets the people moving and coming here on your Wednesday evening. Pivotal game 3 between the Lightning and the Titans here on NBLC TV. John Urban, Greg Campbell, and an and one on the play by Chris Jones, who comes up hobbling, and he continues to extend the lead. And despite hobbling, Jones now up to 12, pending 13 with the main free throw.
Yeah, I know Chris Jones probably sick of me mentioning this on the air, but every pregame partner, he rocks the Starbucks drink. What do they come in the size? Venti, supposed to be the biggest one, and it's just this sugar, calorie-filled caramel mixture that makes you look like it's going to be a sugar crasher after an hour. Every pregame, including the one where he had 39 points in game 1.
Well, speaking of the good kind of sugar, I mean, I got asked the story behind the Clementines beside me, partner. You scored a couple Clementines, and it seems like an ongoing thing, even though I haven't seen it in a while.
From
Miller off glass and too strong by Jensen-White.
Very special oranges because these came from the training staff in Jeff, and the owner, Vito Frisia, went and grabbed me these Clementines.
Jones, may I have this dance? And he kicks that out, and Miller almost intercepted that. Screaming as Chris Jones and Terry Thomas to go to the pocket corner in that situation. They'll retain possession with 12 on the shot clock.
So this year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and MVP all went to Titans. It's not their first hardware, though, partner. Actually, Melissa Malenchuk won Executive Director of the Year last season. This year, it's Aaron Fasterfield of the Windsor Express.
Just over 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and a pretty underhanded scoop there by Burns. He burns the Titans defense, and the lead continues to build here in this third quarter. It was down to 9 to begin the third quarter, and it extended back now to 16. Landon takes a high screen from Walker, who kind of hedged. Landon straight away 3, got it.
And that's got to feel great for Neil Corbin and his coaching staff. Your MVP Joel Kittredge struggled. You have him on the bench, sort of collecting his thoughts, and guys like Darnell Landon and Jesse Jones are carrying the weight.
Jones. Landon continues to bring him out. White with the high screen. Jones into lane against Walker. Tries to go underneath. Kicks it out. White gets his man flying in there. Over to Thomas from downtown. Short. Walker rebound.
Yeah, Chris Jones got too deep in the swimming pool and then realized it and went, somebody help me.
Jones the other way. Pull up over Jones. Got it to go. 3 versus 3. 4 at 3. And lead back down to 10.
Shoots those threes too, because let's face it, you'd expect more fluidity in his motion. It's always a quick snap.
White with a snap, and he goes up against Walker, kicks it out to Haley. Thought better against going the league's Defensive Player of the Year. Here comes Jones, matchup with Tate. 6 on the shot clock, step back, left wing, shot too strong. Jones rebound.
Bit of a heat check there by Chris Jones.
Here comes the turbo button from Jesse Jones. Is he going to slow it down in the situation? It's like crossover Tate, right wing from downtown, and the lead down to 7.
Not closing out the defense that time was Chris Jones, which resulted in man down, the ball went down.
Tate, first 3 of the evening, he's got 22. Burns against Miller. Mismatch into the paint and gets a bucket to go.
Mr. Burns, marketing people see you as somewhat of an ogre. What? I ought to crush them and eat their bones.
Oh, partner, I've missed calling games with you. It's been a little while. John Urban, Greg Campbell bring you through game 3 here at the Odd. Burns against Tate in that situation. Tate wins it, and he comes up kind of hobbling, though, and Jones ends up with it with 15 on the shot clock.
I think Burns landed on Tate awkwardly. He's a little bent out of shape out there.
Jones on the baseline with the left hand and a slick finish.
But it goes back to what we've been saying earlier. Everybody looks a little beaten. Everybody looks a little bruised. Oh yeah, we're in the finals here in 2022.
It's Adams weighing by the scores table, as is Marique Isom. Turnover, miscommunication between Walker and Landon in that situation. Jabari Craig coming in as well. Time out on the floor, 11-point lead for the Lightning. You're watching another courageous game that stays on.
We went into the halftime break. Terry Thomas had 23 points combined. Tyrell Tate and Jesse Jones had 24. We'll check that. Tyrell Tate now got 22. Jones has 16, and they've limited Thomas to 25.
Thomas off the jab almost got it to go, secures his own rebound, and he's going to
come on.
Push on Jabari Craig, and extends his arms and says, what else can I do in that situation?
Yeah, Jabari Craig, I mean, if you go to the websites where you try that, it'll be blocked at your local library for the adult content. Can't be doing that part, or shoving your opponent out of bounds with a bit of a hip-thrusting motion.
Back on the court, 14 on the shot clock. Got the dribble handoff from Isom to Burns. Got the switch on Craig. No mismatch. Burns, step back, three, nothing but nylon.
Yeah, that's the nylon ripper that London fans love.
14-point lead for the visitors. Just under 5.5 to go here in a pivotal Game 3. Titans trying to secure a home court win, force a Game 4 here on Friday at 7 p.m. on NBLC TV. And at the odd, and the ball's fumbled around, Victor Young says out of bounds off the Lightning.
Yeah, that ball plinkoed off of it. Seemed like everybody on the court. I'm surprised that the officials knew who went off of last.
Meanwhile, the Lightning tried to win their first title since 2018 and complete their hashtag, the drive for 5. Craig bullies his way into the lane.
Isom, huge defensive play.
Standing tall in that situation, whip pass to Thomas. Thomas with the left hand, and he's got to travel. And despite being frustrated with the call, he did take a half step into the Juwan Miller there. The right call being made, much to the dismay of the fans behind us.
KW won their first round series in 4 games, losing 1 game up at Sudbury's Community Arena and then winning it all here at the Odd. London broke out the brooms against the Windsor Express. Well, the brooms never went away in the broom closet, Craigie. They're 2/3 of the way through another.
Foul on the floor. Tyrell Tate trying to right the wrong, said by Mr. Urban there. He'll head to the charity stripe.
And I got to bring this up. During the regular season, I mentioned it, the season series advantage goes to London 5-1. All the games at Budweiser Gardens, Greg, weren't close. 104-90, 111-93, 107-82. However, when you go to the auditorium, the exact opposite is true. 110-108 on Family Day. Then we go back to the auditorium on April 2nd, 103-102. The Titans handed the Lightning their first loss by an NBLC opponent here in 2022 on that occasion. And then, like you said, the last game here on April 23rd, 106-103. So every game that these two teams have played each other in 2022 has come down to 1 possession.
And a missed shot by Tate there, and the lead stays at 13, and the chance for the Lightning fans behind us works, but miscommunication, turnover by the Lightning, and the Titans will get a freebie here underneath the rim.
Depends on your perspective and what side of Ontario you rock, but either you came up or you went down the 401 in this battle between KW and London, and well, a huge London contingency is here at the auditorium.
Tate's going to get a hard screen from Craigie's hesitation, and they're going to call a hold by Chris Jones there, trying to fight over Jabari Craig, and I mean, that's a lot of size and, height and width-wise to try and make up and go around. Chris Jones heads to the bench in favor of Jordan Jensen-White.
They list Chris Jones at 6'2". I think they were being generous there, whereas Jabari Craig is listed at 6'10". So yes, giving up, I would say, at least a foot of size that time was the Louisville product.
Doug Plum, hands on his hips. His team's still double-digit lead. Juwan Miller off glass. He's going to get the foul. In that situation, they're going to call it on Lance Adams.
I wasn't allowed in the locker room at the halftime break. I had to pull the Jerry West and go pacing back and forth through a cracked open doorway. But Doug Plum was not pleased at the halftime break, despite the fact that his team was winning and dominated the first quarter of play. He was absolutely, what's the opposite of thrilled about his performance in the second?
Maybe flabbergasted?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Marcus.
Throwing a couple of other F words in there too, and that's exactly what Doug was saying.
Marcus Audi checking into the game first time this evening. Averages 6.6 points per game. 78% free throw shooter, 39% from the field, averages 3.1 rebounds a game and 2.4 assists a game.
And this is where, throughout the regular season, you would assume in the finals the Titans could take advantage. It's at the charity stripe. They're the best free throw shooting team. London is the worst, statistically speaking.
9 of 11 from that area now, just 2 of 4 for the visitors. But again, they're shooting 50% from the field, and the Titans now up to 45. Nice. Jensen White on the left, jabs right. Craig moving in that situation.
Oh, you get the continuation on that.
It shouldn't be an and one in that situation. Rob Caparici waving off Doug Plum, talking to Victor Young about it, and they're going to right in.
Yeah, baby.
An and one.
Again, this official group has done the great job. There's been several times where the three minds on the court necessarily don't see it the same way when the play happens. They confer with one another. And I'll say this, every time they've gotten it right.
13-point lead for the visitors right now. 14
How many
fouls
times
now
have
for
you
the
heard me
Titans.
compliment officials in the past, Greg?
From all my years working with you, I honestly, it might be less than a handful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And kudos to Rob Caparici and his crew doing a superb job here in Kitchener.
Lightning got right something right now. They're trying to write the scripts and get their league-leading 5th championship. Tate high off glass, and it's going to be fumbled around into the hands of Justin Jones.
They're playing tetherball out there.
Left wing, Landon stepped out of bounds.
Oh, that can't happen because that's in front of his own bench, so his own teammates got to let him know where the GPS is on that one.
And Terry Thomas is screaming in delight in that situation. The defensive hustle has been there from the get-go for a team that's already up 2-0 in this series.
And you keep repeating the hashtag drive for 5, and rightfully so. 4 championships, looking for the 5th one in London. But Greg, in 10 years of this history of the league, no championship handed out last year or the previous year because of COVID. So only the 9th time a championship's going to be handed out.
Miller off the turnover, 3-on-1 the other way. Tate off glass, strong finish. It's a fast start there in transition, and they get to go the lead back down to 12.
So it's not just the fact that London's looking for their 5th championship. They're looking to dominate over 50% of the championships in league history, Greg.
Step back 3, and that strong Landon rebound.
Lead's been cut down to 12. Titans look to continue to roll.
Landon has 9 points, 3 rebounds. Tate sizing up his man, jump with the right, second time sweeps left to right, goes baseline, pretty reverse layup. Tyrell Tate, he's up to 27 and a 10-point lead and a timeout on the floor. Can the Titans keep it rolling and close the gap here in the third quarter? You'll find out in a moment.
Points of 38-24 in favor of London, and expect to see more of Amir Williams and Cameron Forte in the latter half of this game to add to that equation.
Now the timeout, Chris Jones, but no look to Thomas baseline, goes right to left. Thomas, and get that out of here, says Jabari Craig. Haley fade away, 2 strong rebound. Going to be a foul on that play by Marique Isom.
Isom should buy Miller dinner first before doing something like that.
Maybe a Miller Light as well. With a bit of a bear hug in that situation.
To the face.
So the Titans defense picking it up here in the third quarter. But
Before the timeout, can we go back to that Tyrell Tate drive to the baseline and the easy bucket after forcing Doug Plum to call the timeout as a result?
Miller, screen from Walker. He's going to get high, he's going to switch to the right side. He's going to defer the screen, kicks it out. Jones fade away from downtown and the lead down to 7.
So I thought Neil Corbin was resting Joel Kindred because we saw that in game 2 and we saw that in game 1. No, they're going to say he's got a bruised hip right now.
Jones, the other way, doesn't get it to go.
And that's the reason why you haven't seen the St. Augustine product in the MVP of this
Landed
league.
to Craig, got it to go. No, says Rob Caparici.
Foul is on Landon.
Woo! That would have been on the highlight reel, folks. But smart foul in that situation. Team 6, though. So next one with 2:24 to go here in the third quarter puts them in the bonus.
Yeah, you can't give the guy the continuation when he decides to lob it up for a big alley-oop like Jabari Craig just ended up throwing down. But as a result, Landon's going to inbound it here.
And because it was over 14 seconds, they're going to reset to 21. Not a foul on the floor, no call. Miller ends up with the ball. Miller baseline. Miller gets stripped by Haley into the hands of Isom. Back to Haley. Jermaine Haley with the winner the last time these two teams played. The go-ahead bucket of 106-103 win here at the Odd that gave the Lightning the first overall seed. Miller in transition. Miller switches right to left and a pretty quick roll to get to go.
To be honest with you, Gardner, one of the wins here at the auditorium by the London Lightning was performed by a gentleman named Ryan closer there, and we ended up signing Burns as a result. The Austin Spurs brought him to the G League, who now wears number 8. That's the third player this year to wear 8 in a Lightning uniform.
Pocket left corner, gets it to go, Maurice Isom.
Raheem Williams was the first one to wear 8. He was cut earlier in the year. I also think about guys like Scott Playson, who played for the Team Canada, and, well, Marlon Taylor was a Washington Wizards training camp attendee. All guys that had cups of coffee with the London Lightning, but don't find themselves in the finals here tonight.
Only 13 and a half minutes away from a championship are the London Lightning.
But the Titans chipping and chipping away at that deficit, and it's been cut down to 8.
Back into the lane off the screen for Jones, over to Miller. Jones gave the high screen from Walker, so 2 bigs being played by the Titans in this
Here's a
situation.
defense chance on the road right
and a
now.
crossover and a step back and too strong as the shot clock expires for
Forced
Jones.
that shot because he ran out of time.
Jesse Jones on the shot there. Chris Jones across the timeline for the Lightning. Hesitation with the left hand. Pass over to Isom. Isolated. 3-ball. Too strong. Long rebound. Second chance. Lightning. Pocket left corner. Thomas. Too strong. Tip in. Amir Williams.
It's something that fans watching this may not understand, that in the NBA, you can't tip it in when it's over the cylinder like that. In this league, you can. Even if you're a defensive player.
So both teams presumably have 1 possession left in this third quarter. Look how high they're going with the 2 bigs by both sides. Jones chooses the left and Craig gets us a switch. Walker high-low to Craig and a foul by Isom.
Maurice Isom can't handle Jabari Craig. I'm not saying Jabari Craig's a better scorer, a better basketball player. I'm saying mano-a-mano when they're underneath the basket. Maurice just consistently gets called for the fouls. He doesn't have an answer for it.
This should be the team's 7th foul, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to say it's only the 6th.
So not in the bonus yet.
Not in the bonus in that situation. The shot clock will reset, and they have 10 now off the inbound. Landon, too strong, and the last chance goes to the Lightning. Chris Jones is going to bring it across the timeline. Jones and company trying to win their 5th league championship. They won the league's first. How can they finish this third quarter? Foul on the floor. A smart one at that. Victor Young with the call, and the ball will be from the sideline. So Young will handle the inbounds. So he's playing with that right hand, and Burns is going to come over and get it. Jones is going to go straight up and down vertical 2 feet away. Off the inbounds, give and go. Burns, does he have the burner for the third quarter? Yes, he does. And that signals the end of 3 here at the Odd. A deep 3 by Burns and the London Lightning, 1 step closer to championship number 5.
If you're a Titans fan, though, yes, and apparently now Kindred, man, oh man, they're talking about a vertical leap that Neil Foreman and his team has to take.
Jesse Jones will begin the action. He'll get over to Tate. The London Lightning outscored the KW Titans 29-26 in that third quarter after racing out to 31-14 lead to begin this contest. Tate with the fadeaway, too strong. Frank kind of slapped it off the backboard into the hands of Thomas.
Smart play.
Thomas.
Not so smart play.
To Chris Jones. Canadian Player of the Year shaking his head after that one there.
Bailed out by Maurice Isom.
Jones over to Williams, a former Buckeye with the dribble handoff to Burns to Isom straight away. Thomas thought about going back door. High screen for Jones. Hesitation. The hook on the play, says Victor Young.
That's the 3rd or 4th time Chris Jones has gotten something up high from a Titan defender.
Can't get a blow. Might as well grab him high in that situation.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thomas leading all scores, or sorry, my apologies. Tate leading all scores, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 10 of 17 from the field. Thomas with 25, Amir Williams with 15, Jones with 14, and Jordan Burns with 11. So 4 Lightning players in double figures. He adds to his total off glass. The bank remains open in the 4th quarter here off that right foot.
Biggest shocker to me is Cameron Forte. He was potentially going to be an MVP to contend with Joel Kindred's award this year, and yet he's been able to bench just 4 points.
Jones is going to get a block. No, a foul, says Rob Caparici on the former Buckeye and Amir Williams, who pleads his case for being vertical. Caparici says, nope, you slapped him over the shoulder in that situation, and he'll go to the line for 2.
It's funny that you say that, too, because Doug Plum, I thought, was complaining about the officiating. No, he was talking to Amir being like, hey, you're out of position. If you have better positioning there, you're going to get old ball, and it's going to be in our favor.
The bulk of the scoring has to be done by Tate and Jones. Jones with 19 at this point. First trip to the charity stripe this evening. He's got 19, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. That makes him 20, the third player in this game with 20 or more this evening.
Well, 6 assists shy and 3 rebounds shy of the triple-double. This is a guy that comes near triple-double territory. It seems like every postseason game he's played in 2022.
Had 23, 9, and 7 in game 1, and then he had 25, 12, and 5, but a combined 9 turnovers in those first 2 games, a pair of losses for the home side here this evening. Little bounce pass from Burns to Isom to Jones. Slipping in was Isom, moving around the timeline. Williams will come up for the high screen to the right. He accepts. Jones matched up on Craig. Back to Miller. Fadeaway as the shot clock expires. Too strong. Rebound. Jones the other way. Jones looking for the bounce pass. Jones calls his number. Jones high off top. With the slammer at the end of that play there. That one's on the highlight reel, folks. And Williams had Craig moving the other way and almost had him on the poster.
The Scarborough boy went up to the skies with authority, found the Rawlings ball in his hand and spiked it down. My word, he's done that a couple times in the finals and never get bored of seeing that.
Craig and Williams, as aforementioned, back on the court. Landon with the strip off Thomas. Landon off glass.
Might be calling a time again. He's going to let them play out.
Lead down to 8, just over 10 to go. So here's the mini run again by the Titans. So far in this fourth quarter, only a 4-2 lead in terms of points.
No, but to that point, Craig, London's just utilizing more shot clock and not worrying about results. It's too easy, too early to do that.
Thomas with the left hand to the right. Over to Isom and a charge, says Caparici, and Landon draws it. And the Lightning reeling a bit here to begin this fourth quarter, and the Titans mounting a slow comeback. Bade Haley back in for the former Buckeye.
Haley actually...
No, Williams back
yeah,
in.
Isom. Isom's going to go off. No, actually, Williams, to your point, though, partner, was actually going over to the scores table. Just one little extra word of instructions from Doug Plum.
Tate on the inbound, and the instructions are high level now with a lot at stake here in the fourth quarter. Game 3 NBLC championship. Is the chip and dip being handed out this evening, or do we got a fourth game here at the odd? Tate was trying to say no to that, and a too strong rebound Haley.
Yeah, not open up the Tostitos bag just yet.
Burns calling for the screen with that right hand for the former Buckeye and Amir Williams. Crosses from left to right. He's going to get doubled high, and he's going to split 2 defenders. Burns, not too bad a shot. Not the result he wanted. Rebound from Craig to Miller.
Titans were trailing by 12 with 12 minutes left in their season. Well, there's 9 minutes left on the board now, and they're trailing by 8.
Miller with the spin and the finish.
Check that. 6.
Here comes the noise at the eye. And look at the football pass of Williams with Craig and Amir Williams.
Can get it done on all aspects of the court. If I'm Titans fans, I'm a little more concerned right now because Cameron Forte is ready to check into this game. I overheard Doug Plum at the halftime break saying he was going to go to his 2 big slate, and here it is. Unless he's coming out for Amir Williams, and that would kind of shock me. But it looked like Amir there for a second was saying, hey, you're coming out for me when I've done this shot?
And it looks like he has as Forte will wait by the scores table for the pending made free throw. Williams is going to get the substitution he wants. He's huffing and puffing, and well, with good reason. A lot of effort there. And with 4 buzzes on the scores table there, thought it was a timeout, but nope, well, resumed play.
Williams was struggling from the free throw line at the beginning of the season. Marik Isom, who went 53 of 55, pulled him aside in practice, worked with Amir, and now his free throws have been at top of the league in the postseason.
Williams 1 of 1, 5 rebounds, 18 points off at 8 of 10 shooting from the field. Thomas leads his side with 25 on 50% shooting from the field. Tate leads all scores with 27. Jones, scoop pass outside. Thomas sizes himself up, too strong. Rebound tip from Neufeld to Miller. Here's the transition game the Titans love playing. Pull up, Miller, got it. Jawan Miller, the big fourth quarter. He's now 5 of 8 from the field. He's got 12 points, the team's 3rd leading scorer.
I said this about George Zares. You called his games when he played for the Laurentian Voyagers, but now he's playing for his hometown Sudbury 5. Same goes for Jawan Miller. Sure, he played school ball in the States, but to play for your home team in the finals, doesn't get better than that.
Lack of defense. Burns doesn't burn him there. Here comes Jones. Jones has he. Jones with the finish with the right hand, and the lead cut down to 5.
Speed kills, and that's what Jesse Jones brings to the table. He knows with his MVP and teammate on the bench, and Joel Kindred with his hip injury, that he's got to put the Titans on his back.
Under 8 to go. Forte with the screen. No look pass to Thomas. Thomas pulls his way in with the left hand. Jones with the hold in. A good job by there getting the ball in the lane. Rob Caparici says jump ball in that situation. Favors the Lightning. Substitution. Jordan Jensen-White in. Chris Jones out. What's the story? Is it a storybook ending for the Lightning, or is it game 4 here on Friday? Newfound with Forbes, and the hook shot gets it to go again.
See, you pour in Cameron Forte late, you're resting Amir Williams. This might be a recipe for disaster for Titans fans.
Tate on the right wing looking for Jones, streaking. Now to Landon. Right by the Titans logo to Miller. 12 on the shot clock, 7:18 on the game clock. Miller off the hesitation and the continuation. They're saying no continuation, says Rob Caparici, before the shot, and the ball will be sidelined right by Neil Foreman. So a lot of discussion going on.
Cameron Forte.
Team's third. So they're in okay situation foul-wise at the moment. And the drive for 5 trying to be completed here this evening. Meanwhile, the Titans trying to force the game 4. Landon off the jab. Landon almost with the turnover.
There was no deflection.
No.
Yeah, there was. Terry Thomas never deflected that. That was all on Landon. That is a backcourt violation.
So a 7-point lead with 7:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Lightning defense spurring, potentially opening this game up once again, trying to walk away with a game 3 victory in a sweep here at the Odd. Caparici and Neil Foreman talking there.
Well, I know it was close because Thomas did have his hand in the cookie jar, but his hand has to touch the ball in order for it to create that deflection to negate the backcourt violation. He never touched it. That was all in Landon.
Burns off the inbound, let him give a go with Forte, gets the switch off to Miller. Miller checking his feet, still watches him in a bounce pass inside. They're saying off the knee of Neufeld last.
A little kickball going on.
Drag back into the game, and they're going to need a lot of Jamari Craig, especially at the rim.